here's one from Maradona. She sent this to me on the Facebook page. So here's what she says. We are staying at the All-Star Movies and have 2 character breakfasts set up. One for the Grand Floridian and the other at the Beach Club. What's the best way to travel to those 2 other resorts that early in the day? For the Grand Floridian, I was going to bus to the Magic Kingdom, walk to the Contemporary, and then take the monorail to the Grand Floridian. Is that the best route? What about the Beach Club? It seems a little trickier. Thanks, Dad. Maradona, I wanted to answer this question because I wanted to talk about transportation. I like talking about transportation at Walt Disney World. They have the best transportation system in the world. They just do. The transportation options are pretty cool. So getting from, but you've chosen one of the harder ones. Getting from the All-Star resorts, say like you said, the All-Star movies, to any of the other resorts is difficult because unlike the monorail resorts, unlike the Epcot resorts, you don't have that direct transportation. So the value resorts are, and the moderate resorts to a lesser extent, the value resorts and the moderate resorts are a little harder to get to the parks and to especially the other hotels. The other hotels are always the hardest. When the book comes out in August, and we'll have a way for you to order here shortly. When the book comes out in August, one of the things we have is a bunch of bonus content. One of our pieces of bonus content is the Ultimate Guide to Walt Disney World Transportation. It's an ebook about how to get around at Walt Disney World. And in that book, we have little maps, or little pages where we talk about how to get from all the resorts. I printed out the wrong one. I printed out the music instead of the movies. So, but it's the same way because you do the same thing. So to get from the All-Star Music or Movies Resort, excuse me, All-Star Movies Resort to the Grand Floridian, that's pretty easy. Like you say, you bus to the Magic Kingdom. You don't have to walk over to the Contemporary. I wouldn't walk all that way. You can walk right over to the either the monorail, which is just it's a little, but it's not nearly as far as the Contemporary. Walk over to the monorail. You get right on the monorail at the Magic Kingdom and take it all the way around to the Grand Floridian. It'll be the last stop before you get back to the Magic Kingdom. Or you can get on one of their boats, their little ferry boats, launches. They call them launches. One of their launches, and take the launch to the Grand Floridian. That's a cool little ride. I love riding the launches around Seven Seas Lagoon. It's just fun. So you could take the launch or the monorail around to the Grand Floridian. That'll take 45 minutes or so, probably. You never know exactly how long it's going to take, but my guess it would be about 45 minutes. The other one's going to be a little harder. Like you said, the Beach Club's going to be harder. So because there is no, you have to go to a park to get to a hotel. There's no hotel-to-hotel shuttle bus service. So if it's not one of the monorail hotels, then you're going to have to take an intermediate step. So you have to go to a hotel. I would suggest you either go to the Animal Kingdom or the Disney's Hollywood Studios. Those, whichever bus comes first, that's the one I would hop on. And then you get the bus to the Beach Club. Now, one thing about going to the Beach Club is you don't go directly to the Beach Club. You're going to stop at the Swan and Dolphin. You're going to stop at the Boardwalk. You'll make some intermediate stops before you get to the Beach Club. That's just the way it's designed. You might make 3-4 stops before you get to the Beach Club. So it's going to take some time to get from the All-Star Movies to the Beach Club. My guess is probably you ought to allow an hour and a half. That's a lot of time. The alternative would be to use Uber, probably $7-8 to Uber between the two hotels. You can look at the Uber app and see how much it would cost. You've also got taxis. All the hotels have taxis waiting where you can jump in a taxi. Probably a little more expensive to go to a taxi. It's still pretty cheap. It's still less than $20 to go from hotel to hotel at Walt Disney World in a taxi. Disney is supposed to have their service come out sometime where it's the Uber-like service that's run by Disney. It's not out yet, but that could be an option depending on when you go and depending on when they roll it out. So those are the options for you. Getting to the Grand Floridian, pretty simple. Take 45 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe less if you get lucky. Going to the beach club, it'll take a full hour and maybe longer. So I hope that helps, Maradona. I hope that answers your question. And we'll talk some more on Facebook.